Hey guys, Brian here. Welcome to vlog number 20. So, on the last vlog we got into kind of, is the GR Corolla a good daily driver? Is it the best daily driver? I think yes, but you know, everyone has their opinions. But regardless, for this video, I think, so right now, if you guys are wondering, right now I'm on my way to FedEx. I'm going to drop off a couple prints that I did for someone out in Texas. So I'm gonna drop them off, get them ready for shipping and everything, and then so I'm taking you guys on that journey, and I'll probably take you guys through a little bit of a behind the scenes of me actually making the prints. I still got a couple more to make. I made a bunch yesterday, like literally, I think it was like 18 of them almost, or maybe like 17 of them. So I made a lot yesterday. I was really busy. But today I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make another, I think another couple at least, or maybe 3 or 4. I'm gonna see if anyone else wants some. But anyway, so I'll take you guys to the behind the scenes of that. But at the same time, I guess I want to kind of focus this video in more on just kind of like what I could bring to you guys. So like, I think I would definitely get into how the GR Corolla handles on the canyons, because I was supposed to get into that the last video, but the audio that I took of it kind of got choppy and a little rough, so I decided to kind of take it out of it. And so I think I'm not sure if you guys caught that in the last video, but I mentioned that I was going to talk about it, and then I never actually did. So I think for this video, I'll probably just sit down with you guys a little bit and talk about like how I feel about the GR Corolla on the canyon versus like the track. Just because I feel like the car behaves in a completely different way that I'm not very used to. And so with that, it's kind of like a tale of two stories really. So I'm gonna leave you guys there, but enjoy the sequence. I'll catch you guys on the other side. Hey guys, alright, I'm back. So this one's gonna be a little different. I think I'm gonna just kind of have you guys here. I have my little office area here at the house. I think I'm just gonna kind of talk to you guys here. I know I always go kind of somewhere, sit at a garage or in a parking lot, and kind of just talk to you guys there in front of the cars or to a canyon. But this one right now, I've been kind of busy. So pretty much recently, literally like I want to say like 2 or 3 days ago from this point, I kind of started offering people to do prints, because I've always had a printer. I've always had a Canon printer, and then I've always done kind of prints here and there. It's been a while since the last time I've done it, so I kind of dusted the printer off, right? But I always kind of did that here and there just to kind of see some of my work. Not really my automotive stuff, but a lot of just like kind of my landscape pictures because I used to do a lot of landscape pictures more as a hobby. And so yeah, so now I just kind of came up here and I'll just kind of start printing. But to talk about the things that we wanted to talk about, right? So pretty much my last vlog, I kind of forgot to talk about GR Corolla handle on track, and so or on the canyons compared to track and whatnot, because I felt like the car has two different impressions really. So if you drive the car strictly on canyon, and I feel like most GR owners could probably agree with this, is like when I first was driving the car on the canyons, I was kind of, it wasn't even like scared. It's more of like an adrenaline rush. I feel like that car, at least for me, at least compared to the STI and the WRX, it felt a lot less. It felt a lot less planted. It felt very playful, not in a bad way where it like doesn't handle good, because it handles really good. Like it definitely feels like it's on rails. But the one thing I noticed is that the back end is a lot more playful. The car rolls a lot, and for me, it felt a little uncomfortable in the canyon, just because I felt like I was a little like on edge. Like I felt like I was pushing the car to its edge, and it sometimes it just feels like the back end is gonna kind of slide out right when I don't want it to. It's very, like I said, it's a very kind of fun feeling. A little scary, I think, at first. You get used to it after a while, and I definitely have gotten used to it. I think I get more used to how the car handles and what its limits are on the way, or the way that it likes to be driven. Because I feel like the GR Corolla likes to be driven a lot different than the STI. I think the STI, you could kind of just floor it more and not have to really worry about the back end as much. But the GR Corolla, you definitely got to worry about that back end as much. I know a lot of people kind of say they can't drift the car or it has too much grip. I kind of, in my experience, at least in the canyons, maybe the canyons I go to, I know that the roads aren't necessarily the best quality. There's a little bit of gravel a lot of the time, so maybe it's just I'm feeling more of the gravel slip. Or maybe it's a thing of even just electric steering not giving me the feedback I need to really like kind of figure out what exactly the car is doing. And so I feel like it's definitely an experience. It definitely takes some time to get used to. But all of that, I think on track, it behaves, or the impression that I get from the same. So it's the same feelings, but on track, because I've taken it to one track day so far, Streets of Willow here in Southern California, up in the Antelope Valley, or in the Mojave. I don't think it's Mojave yet. We up there in Palmdale, we kind of know where the borders of all of the little valleys and cities are. But taking it up there, and I really got to rip it around. And I think there, the back end having that roll and then that kind of squat and slide was really fun actually to do on track. Like on track, I felt like I was never gonna spin out, but I felt like it could really help me kind of do some power turns, and on especially like very narrow or very technical turns. I felt like I was just swinging the back end and then just gripping and going, and it was very fun. It was a very fun experience, and I felt like that's where you kind of understand where the engineering really went to with the suspension, because I felt like for a long time I was a little confused on why it felt like that and why it felt like, for me, it just felt a little on edge. But I think a lot of it is that it's intentional. It's meant for it to be like that, just to kind of have that personality and that kind of characteristic of it having that little swing in the back end. So I think that if you have a GR Corolla, I feel like you should definitely, if you haven't taken it to track yet, you definitely should. Don't worry about all this warranty nonsense, but you definitely should try it out at least once, because I feel like that's what really taught me, the actual behaviors of the car. It's what actually got me to become a better driver with the car. It's what got me more comfortable with the car. And if you're a little intimidated, like you've never done a track day in your life, I feel like you definitely don't have anything to really worry about. I guess things that I didn't know and that I learned kind of during the track day was the fact that that they have different sessions. So they have a beginner session, an intermediate session, and a advanced section, and sometimes they even cut it to where there's lower intermediate, higher intermediate, you know, and like very beginner. And for me, I fell in that very beginner. I'd never been on the track. I've only driven Streets of Willow on Gran Turismo. And so for me, it was my first time. I mean, I've had, you know, years and years on the canyons. So I had the fundamentals down of what it means to be a driver, but to not have to be limited to your lane is definitely a different experience too, because you can actually hit the apexes that you need to hit on on the track that you're not able to hit in the canyon. And so I felt like it was definitely a very good experience. Oh, we got the print done. I'll go ahead and show you guys the print. And this is my bearded dragon, by the way. So, but here's a print. So pretty much, yeah, this is my whole little print setup. This picture actually is a little bit different. I did not take this picture, but I'm printing it for a buddy of mine. And pretty much his photographer, when he sent him the files, he sent him kind of like small files in a way, so they're not really able to blow out completely. But normally when I go and print, and the files I use, the actual picture itself will actually kind of go all the way to the border itself. But this one's gonna end up being like probably like an inch or an inch and a half short or smaller all around. So not the most ideal, but me and him talked about it, and we knew that that's okay, and he just wants the picture for the memories. And so yeah, so I'm still gonna work with him. I just gotta get a different frame for that type of picture. But it came out really good. It came out really clean. The photographer, whatever camera he's using, is really good too. So the picture came out really nice, and I think it's going to be a great way to remember that car, because he's actually selling it. So if you guys are interested in that Hawkeye, definitely give me a DM on Instagram, and I could kind of get you guys connected. But anyways, so yeah, so on track. But yeah, on track, I felt like it really helped me get an understanding of like what the Toyota engineers were thinking. And so I think that it's very important that if you have a GR Corolla, take it to the track at least once. And if you don't like it, then I feel like then that's going to be the teller of you whether you want to keep the car long term or not. But I feel like most people that buy the GR Corolla really love it. And I feel like I've seen some people actually get out of the platform, which is kind of different. And I feel like I see some comments talking about this hype train. And I feel like there was never really like a hype train. I think it's still a very great car, and I feel like me personally, like I really love the car. I think it does exactly what I want it to do. But I think me going into a car like that, especially owning a WRX STI, as infamous and notorious those cars are, you know, I think I knew what I was getting myself into. I feel like some people that are getting into the platform might not have an idea of what they're doing, or at least not have an idea of what the car is actually supposed to be, and then they kind of start driving around, and they get a little upset when it's not exactly what they want, because it's not going to make big power like a BMW. It's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna blow a Type R out the water. It's not gonna blow a Mustang out the water. It's just not that type of car. Like it's don't get me wrong, it's a fun car. It handles really well. It really is a performance vehicle. Like it's not just like an everyday daily driver type of car, but it shines in the turns. It really shines off road. It shines in the snow. You know, like that's what the car is really meant for. It's for that kind of all purpose performance versus just that straight line, or you know, that all out power. Because all out power is probably really fun around track. It's probably really fun around a tight road. But what's gonna really handle if the terrain gets wet? Um, what's gonna really handle when you end up making big power on it and you need an all-wheel drive system? You know, like there's only so much a rear-wheel drive system can do. I mean, obviously there's some supercars, right? McLarens that are all rear-wheel drive and amazing cars, but at the same time, you know, I think the expectation is like through the roof for this car. At least a lot of journalists put it through the roof. And I feel like for the most part, it's deserved, because it's a really great car. But I feel like you really don't know what the car really is until you take it on track. I feel like that's why Toyota really promotes that track day, not to avoid our warranties, but for us to really know like what the car was really engineered to do. Because I felt like me before the track day, I loved the car. And I understood that it was a great car, but I just couldn't really get comfortable with it. And then me after the track day, I just completely understood the car. I think it really helped me engage. It helped me really notice like all the little details that they do within like the traction, the control, And I know that not everyone's going to be able to track a GR Corolla, not everyone's going to be able to experience that. But for the GR Corollas that do have it and haven't been to the track, just go. Like, don't. What are you guys waiting for? You know, like, it's definitely a fun experience, but make sure if you guys are gonna go, check your oil. You know, check your coolant. Make sure that your spark plugs are still clean. Make sure your tires are still good. Make sure you still have brake pads because you're gonna run through all of them. And with that being said, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna keep it kind of short. I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing these type of styles where I'm just kind of sitting at the desk. I feel like for me it feels a little lazy. I mean, I like it. I mean, I feel like it's comfortable, but I do like being outside too. Like, I like going to a park and just talking to you guys there. And so, you know, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna keep making this more of a habit, but yeah. Anyways, um, enjoy your day. Have a good one. Happy Fridays. I'm recording this on Friday. I'm probably gonna post this Saturday, but have happy Fridays, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.